So apparently you're on a mission to being the most confident, the most hot version of yourself, but you're still finding yourself waiting for permission. You're finding yourself faking it until you make it. Unfortunately, that ain't gonna cut it. You haven't yet realized that true confidence is more than how you look. It's more than doing your affirmations in the morning. In this episode, we're going through 10 not so sexy and not so fun habits for your confidence. And if you know anything about me, I love a bit of sexy and I love a bit of fun. But these are the habits that got me from being a shy, nervous people pleaser to being very comfortable in my skin and being your favorite on-camera host. I know you love habit 7 because honestly it's the simplest one and probably my favorite one. And if you stick around to the very end, I'm opening up the confession booth to answer your spicy dilemmas. Hello, I'm Anna Marie. This is AM to PM, your unapologetic guide to living a delicious life. Yum. Let's get stuck in, shall we? Class is in session. Numero uno, habit number 1. It is saying no. Saying no, setting boundaries, and actually meaning it and actually sticking to it. Once you master knowing that this is the line right here, and we're not gonna cross it.
Nobody can cross it.
And you stick to that and you honor yourself, you earn yourself some brownie points. As a former people pleaser, this took me years to master because the feeling of guilt was so torturous. I felt so bad when someone did me wrong and I told them that they did me wrong because I just was not comfortable setting my own boundaries. It is so easy to spend years confusing being liked with being valued, saying yes to everything because you want to show how good you are at doing the job. Every time you say yes when you really mean no, you are telling yourself that you are not worthy enough to uphold the standards that you have for yourself. And if you don't uphold the standards for yourself, how can you expect anyone else to? And the truth is, you cannot be this confident, magnetic, unshakable, sexy woman when you are available to anyone and everything at any given time. You will end up depleting yourself and ending up looking like a rat on the highway.
You catch me like a rat on the highway.
Here's what you're going to say next time someone tries to overstep your boundary. For example, you're at work. Sally comes up to you. Hey, can you read over these files for me? Hey, Sally, I'd really love to help you out. Thanks very much. But I have a few other matters that I need to focus on at this time. Sorry, I can't help you. Let's say your party friend, me, invites you out for the 3rd weekend in a row. You're going to say, listen, Anna Marie, sounds great, but I feel like I need some alone time this weekend. I need extra sleep this weekend. And me, Anna Marie, I'll say, get your sleep, girl. Get your sleep, girl. I'll see you again soon. Set the boundary, mean it, move on. Habit number 2, move that body. Move your body, girl. Let's go. A woman who enjoys being in her body is a confident woman. Ever notice that the most confident looking woman, they just look like they float through life. They look like they're truly embodied and happy and secure within themselves. Look at women who dance salsa and bachata and all Latin American dances. They have a certain swagger that can only be activated once you're truly embodied in your physical self. Now you can do that by dancing, you can do that by walking, by going to the gym. You just need to get that blood pumping. Whether you're on your weight loss journey or your mental health matters to you, being disciplined in doing a daily, a weekly, a fortnightly physical activity will honestly change your life. Now, I'm a gym babe, I'm also a walking babe, I'm also a run club babe, and many other sports. I'm always doing something, and doing these physical activities, one, has made me feel so good internally, and just seeing the results, seeing how my body has changed, feeling myself get physically stronger and mentally stronger because I'm able to push through the certain mental blocks to be able to lift heavier weights or to go further distances. The pride that I feel within myself, wow, No one can take that away from me. But also the discipline of showing up regularly and doing this thing for myself. Movement also made me more confident because I got comfortable seeing other women's bodies. Now, this might sound a little creepy, but I promise it's not. When you go into some changing rooms, there's always gonna be an older woman there who's butt naked. There's always going to be a skinny woman. There's always going to be a bigger bodied woman. There's always going to be a woman with a body type like you. And being able to see that in 4K makes you feel more self-assured because there are other women out there like you doing the same things. There are other women out there who look like you. You're going to see the body of a woman after she's had children and get comfortable with what that looks like. Being exposed to all shapes and sizes and colors will really reprogram your brain on how you see yourself and how you think about beauty. Okay, on the topic of body, but not you putting your balls in front of the people. Be a gentleman. On the topic of that body, cleaning up what I consume daily made a huge difference to my mental and my physical state. This goes for your diet and your phone. I'll just say it right now. Unfollow the Shade Borough. Unfollow the Shade Room. In fact, I got the Shade Room blocked. You know why? Because I couldn't see that. I couldn't keep seeing disastrous celebrity gossip and the degradation of the Black community on my timeline every single day. They had to go. And I no longer engage with those kind of platforms. Shade Borough, Shade Room, you will pay for your crimes. If there's a creator that you follow that doesn't align with your spirit, please unfollow. If there's a creator that makes you feel jealousy and envy and makes you constantly compare your life, unfollow. In terms of diet, having more leafy greens, having my multivitamins, having meat and dark chocolate towards my period because I know my brain is gonna need it. All of these contribute to your general wellness and how you're able to move through life and move through the day. Put down the chicken tenders. Save it for the weekend. On to habit number 4, and we're still talking about health. Go to the doctors. Advocating for your own health is one of the most powerful things that you can do because no one else is going to do it for you. Sometimes you've got to do the unsexy things to get sexy. If you know that all your bowels are good, you went for your smear test, you went for your titty scan, and you go to the dentist, that develops an undeniable trust in yourself, knowing that you've done your part, you've shown up, body and your mind is functioning properly. Even if it isn't, making sure that you're going to your appointments, making sure that you're checking in and you're asking questions and you're advocating for your health, because you know the NHS will leave you in the streets. Let me take that back. I love the NHS. They have been very, very good to me, but still, they might actually leave you in the street. The way these hospitals are over capacity. You're not a child. If you're a grown adult, it is up to you to look after your health. If you got a pain in your back for 17 years, do something about it. It's important that you show up for yourself because life is long and life is beautiful and you want to be there to live it. Numero 5. Habit number 5 can be a little sexy if you want it to be. Habit number 5 is getting comfortable with being alone. Now, there are some people who can do it. I've been alone. I was born alone and I was raised an only child. So I had to do after school club and certain activities alone. I know, how sad is that? But once I got older and I started to refine my taste and going to exhibitions and wanting to go out to restaurants, those are the scary ones. That first date by yourself can be so nerve-wracking because you're thinking, oh my God, does everyone think I'm a loser? That can rock you a little bit. But you can start small, maybe going somewhere more casual where you can pop your little headphones in, you can watch your Netflix, or you can listen to music while you have a meal. But also in these kind of situations, people will talk to you. I love talking to a waiter. I love talking to a manager and just, saying, hey, I'm in town for the day. What's good to do? Then you've just made a connection. So it builds your people skills. It makes you feel more comfortable and validates your grown womanness. Yes, you're grown and you're eating out by yourself. How lovely is that? Try and start a conversation with the person at the door, the person who's going to scan your ticket or the person who's going to welcome you. Ask them a question oh, what's happening tonight? I'm really excited about tonight. What can I expect? What time is this thing gonna happen? You gotta warm up those vocal cords, girl. Gotta get comfortable with putting yourself in uncomfortable situations to get comfortable. Does that make sense? Life will pass you by so fast if you are not careful. A woman who takes herself out, she doesn't ask for permission, she doesn't ask for company. Woof. That energy is so untouchable. If you want to go out and you want to shake smash, then I think you should do that. Quick secret, I want to hit 1,000 of you beautiful subscribers by the end of September 2026. So hit that red button for your girl. Habit number 6. Now, if you are a woo-woo babe like me, if you're an affirmations girly, you're going to love this one. This one is all about your self-concept. So if you're someone who journals, if you're someone who really talks about the life that you want or the life that you're living, start writing about the ideal version of you in present tense. I have a beautiful friend called Millie, the host of the Millie podcast, and she's into biohacking and wellness. She's your girl for getting you from point A to point B, and she talks about how your self-concept is the absolute key to activating your confidence. You can become whoever you want to be. You just have to trick your brain into believing that she's that girl. So when I first started on my self-concept journey, I wrote a page in my journal saying, Anna Marie is this. She wakes up at this time. She goes to the gym and she is organized and she earns this much money. This was at the early stages of my confidence journey. So I still felt insecure. I still felt nervous. I knew that I had all this power in me and I wanted to be this fabulous, miraculous lady, but I just wasn't her at that time. So I made her up. I wrote on a piece of paper and I read it every day. Then instead of saying Anna Marie is, I started to say I am. And within a year, things in my life just started to change. The things that I was talking about, and I still read that because I still use the same journal. I still read that from time to time if I'm feeling a bit down, but to see that I'm actually living that life that I manifested. But plans without action is dead. You can be doing all of those things. You can be affirming every single day. But if you are not taking actionable steps, if you are not doing the other habits and like changing your diet and waking up earlier and, putting yourself out there, nothing will come to fruition. You will not just wake up one day and be the baddest bitch in the village. You have to actively take the steps to become her. Habit number 7. What's something that all the boss babes have in common? Think of your favorite creator or entrepreneurial woman. What time does she go to bed? Do you think she's up till 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning? That is shade to myself because I'll be up at 2 o'clock doing some bullshit. The most successful and established women all go to bed early. Emma Greed posted a day in her life on her channel. That woman goes to bed at 9 p.m. and she's up at 5 a.m. because she got stuff to do. And I know I'm going to sound like your mother in this one. Oh, you need to go to bed early. Oh, you need to get your beauty sleep. But you actually do. Especially when you start getting older. God, these eye bags will take you like a thief in the night. This is the one that I would told you would be the easiest because I think to some degree it is easier to go to bed early. You just have to start making micro changes in your day so you can get in bed, so you can have your dinner earlier, you can shower earlier, you can switch off earlier and go to sleep and get those 7 hours. It's so important. It makes a huge difference to your life. If this is one thing that you're gonna do, I would say it's go to bed. Get some sleep. Because there is a significant difference in 1, how I look, and 2, how I feel, and 3, how I perform when I have had a full 7-8 hours of sleep versus when I'm clinging on to dear life because I was up all night. Now, at this stage of my life, I don't think I'm a 9 p.m. babe. I'm not going to lie to you. Right now, I'm in bed at 12. I'm in bed at 12 and I'm up at 7. And that works for me because I'm also a DJ. So sometimes I'm out till 2 a.m. But having that night routine, switching off, going to bed early, waking up early, you feel so much more accomplished because you get more done in the morning, especially if you've got children and you can have 1-2 hours of silence to yourself before you face the day. Massive game changer. Habit number 8. This one might be a little bit off kilter, but once I started opening up more and becoming more emotionally available, for one, with myself and with the people who cared about me, I became more confident and more comfortable in who I am as a person than I ever had. As someone who has avoidant tendencies, I am working on being secure, okay? We're getting there. I would never burden my friends or my family with my thoughts or my problems or whatever was going on with my life, because I felt like I could handle it on my own, and I felt like they didn't want to hear my shit. But once I realized that my friends don't really know who I am, I felt like I was living a lie because I didn't reveal myself to them, because I was afraid of judgment, or I was afraid of not being accepted, or afraid of shame. And that put a block on the depth of my relationships, which meant that I was operating on surface level with people who really considered me to be their best friend and would call on me for things, but I would never call on them for things. And that feeling was incredibly lonely. And to be out in the world as a person trying to achieve bigger things, you need a support system. Someone who's chasing larger than life ambitions, it is already inherently lonely because not everybody understands their vision. It takes a particular type of person to be brave enough to want to do that. And oftentimes you are working by yourself. So then to go home or to meet with friends and feel like you're alone amongst these people is such a horrible feeling. The reason why I started feeling more secure once I opened up and I let people into my journey and things that I was going through humanized me to myself. It allowed me to accept that I might be struggling sometimes too, that, oh, I have feelings too. And it also humanized me to my friends. I've always been the strong friend. I've always been the mum or the advice giver. But once I started revealing that actually I'm in the pits of hell, guys, it opened up the doors for my friends to support me. It opened up the doors for my friends to come in and to love me and to pour into me. And on all my down days, remind me that I am that girl. And that's the reason why I'm able to move so unashamedly, because I know that the people that really care about me, the people that matter to me the most, have got my back. Number 9, I hope you're all cleaning your rooms. I hope you're all clearing out your wardrobes. I say this now as I see a t-shirt hanging from my wardrobe door. Now this one might be the unsexiest of the unsexy for me, but decluttering. Here's what I've come to understand. Your environment is a reflection of your mind. It reflects how you think about yourself. If you're someone who keeps your place messy, then you probably see yourself as a disorganized person. If you're someone who is clean, then you probably value structure and organization and high standards. My least favorite thing is coming home after a gig at 2 a.m. and seeing that I left the clothes everywhere. So now I make it a conscious effort to put everything away before I leave the house, or to pick out the outfit before I need to get ready, so it's already sorted. When I walk into a chaotic space, I feel chaotic. When I walk into a clean space, I feel productive, I feel fresh, I feel alive. I feel like someone who has it together. Do you know what I mean? If you are not a clutter-free person, the one thing that I would recommend you to do every day is to make your bed. That is the first task of the day. You get up, you make your bed, you fluff your little pillows, you open your window, you let some air in. It tells your brain that I am someone who takes care of things. I am someone who accomplishes things. Even something as small as making up your bed. For me, the bed is the focal point of the room. But if I have clothes on the bed, if I have my washing on the bed, the whole feng shui of the room is off. It needs to go. Also, decluttering your wardrobe. You don't need to wear them same skinny jeans from 2013. Let them go. You don't need to be wearing that same crop top and skinny jeans from 2013. let it go. It probably doesn't even fit you anymore. If you want, you can start a little side hustle. Open up a Depop, open up a Vinted, earn some cash. But I'm sure there are things in your wardrobe that are the old version of you. Think back to habit number 6 and your self-concept. Would the version of you, your hottest, most confident version, wear this outfit? Does she still align with the things in your wardrobe? If not, it's time to say goodbye. Woo, we made it to the end of the habit list. Thank you for sticking with me. Habit number 10 is checking myself at the gym.
Waiting on you at the door.
Before I go anywhere, before I start any hosting gig, or even before I start this episode, that I remind myself of who I am and what I am here to do. And this is just a little act of self-love, is taking that 5 minutes to just mentally prepare yourself. Take a deep breath in, inhale, exhale. Tell yourself that you're going to have a great day. Tell yourself that your outfit looks amazing and your hair is amazing and your titties are sitting up right, and that you are so prepared and you are so worthy to be where you are at. Make sure that you're feeling good before you enter that room. And I do this all the time. I want to come with positive energy. I want to come with vibrant energy and share it with them. If I'm off, they're going to be off, or they're going to ask me what's wrong. The women who you know are the most confident are so self-assured and so self-regulated. They know how to slow down. They know how to check in with themselves. They know how to regulate and process the information before they respond to you. And that is how you become the hottest, most confident, most sexy flower woman in the game. Whew, child, those habits were definitely unsexy, but they were hot. Or is it just hot in here? It's currently 33 degrees. All right, honeys, the confession booth is now open. Real dilemmas, real answers. You know we don't do surface level around here. Let's go. Confession 1. My friends think I'm too picky. Am I? I'm female, 29, and all my friends keep telling me I'm too picky, that I need to lower my standards or I'll end up alone. I'm 5'5", but I only date men that are over 6 foot. Girl, don't make me roll my eyes so hard. I genuinely don't know if they're right. Are my standards too high, or are my friends just settling? Well, I don't know what all your standards are, because all you mentioned was 6 foot. So if that's your only standard that you're going based off, then maybe you are aiming too high. Because let me tell you something. As a woman who's 5'10", do you know how hard it is? Do you know how rare, first and foremost, it is to find a man that's over 6 foot, that has a good job, that has more than 2 brain cells, and that you're genuinely attracted to, and you can wear your heels, and he makes you feel like a small little princess? Do you know how hard it is for me? And then there's women like you that are vertically challenged. Let me date you. If you stand next to me, you will be at my kneecaps. Imagine dating a man that is 3 to 4 inches taller than me, and that's what you want. If that's your only standard, then don't submit a dilemma to me again, because there are people dying, Kim. People starving in the world with real problems. But if your standards are like, I want someone kind, I want someone who goes to church, I want someone, those are reasonable standards. And as a girly who is in these dating streets, it is so important to have these standards. But physical standards, like him being 10 feet taller than you, that's unreasonable. Please don't waste my time here. Don't get me mad today. Dilemma number 2. Anna Marie, I'm 34 and I feel like I've lost myself. I used to be so confident in my 20s. I knew who I was. I had this energy. Now I feel like I'm going through the motions. I don't even know what I like anymore. How do I get back to myself? I want to start by saying this is one of the most common things that I hear from women in their 30s. Because there is a huge transition that happens, not just in your mind, but in your body, but also societally as well. It is very common to feel lost and confused in your 30s, because we were sold this dream that we would all have it together, that you'd have the house and that you'd be living your best life. But some of us start over at 30. I started my life over at 30. I quit my job at 30 years old and I said, no more. Here's what I actually think is happening. In your 20s, there's a lot of external validation. There's a lot of caring about how you look and caring about friends and who wants you and being in certain spaces. And that feels like confidence until something shifts. And in your 30s, you wake up and your body feels different and you look a bit different and you see the world differently and the world sees you differently because you're a grown-ass woman. It's uncomfortable. So in your 30s, I feel like confidence really starts in your 30s because you have to dig deep. You have to let go of the identity that you built for yourself in your 20s and you have to really start living life now. It's so uncomfortable when you've lived your life a certain way for that first decade of adulthood to realizing that none of that is actually important. It feels like a loss because who you once were is no longer there. What you once knew no longer exists, and you have to completely reinvent yourself. But the way back to yourself is so doable. It is finding new things that you enjoy, joining new clubs, meeting new people, traveling, putting yourself out there. They say that people get to their 30s and they start doing random stuff like marathons. And I think that's very true because there are some people that I know that we're in our 30s and we're in run clubs, we're doing high rocks, we're doing London Marathon. They're going to Bali to go and find themselves. It's a mystical time. But none of these things that you do shouldn't make sense to other people. This is the time in your life where you need to just live for you. So I wouldn't say that you've lost yourself. I'd say that you've just outgrown yourself. And of course, life happens, jobs happens. There are certain things that take us off the path or cause us to shift and change. But now is a time that you get to become the real you. Confession number 3. I know I need to change, but I keep self-sabotaging. Every time I start to do well, I'm going to the gym, I'm eating better, I'm showing up for myself, I self-sabotage. I cancel plans, I stop going, I fall back into old habits. I know what I need to do and I keep undoing it. What is wrong with me? Firstly, there is nothing wrong with you. You are just a functioning human. I can relate to this a lot. Getting a good streak going, getting comfortable in new routines and building new habits. And then it gets to a point where you're like, you know what? I don't need to go to the gym today. I'm going to sit home and eat biscuits because I've been going to the gym consistently for months. And then it turns into one day and then it turns into 2 days. And before you know it, you are back to where you started. That's totally human thing to do. So please don't blame yourself. Self-sabotage is really your brain trying to keep you safe. I know that sounds backwards, but if you've been a particular version of yourself for an extended period of time, once you try to break those habits, your brain is like, girl, what are we doing? We're doing 10K steps a day. Last week, you did nothing. What are we doing now? And it will try to convince you and put you back into just doing nothing because that's what feels familiar. That's what feels comfortable. But you got to get so good at not listening to that inner critic. You got to get so good at catching yourself out and from falling into bad habits. But also you could have some internal blocks. Maybe you don't feel worthy enough. Maybe you don't feel like you deserve to have your dream body or your dream life, and that's what's holding you back. But you know what will get you up is looking at yourself in the mirror, looking at your life currently and being like, I need to change. That's the only thing that's going to help you get up and be consistent. Sometimes you need to ask yourself, what am I scared of? Am I scared of succeeding? Do I really believe that I deserve this? Do I really believe that I'm capable of this? That's the real work. And that's why you bring your friends in. That's why you bring your accountability partners in to hold you to the standard that you want to set yourself. But in the meantime, when you do fall off, don't make it a character flaw. Don't make this about yourself. Just give yourself a day and get back on it and then go again the next day. Woo! You have no idea how hot I am in this room. Okay, that was 10 unsexy habits that are gonna make you the sexiest, the confident, the hottest bad gal on the block. And all of them require you to do one thing, and that is just making a decision. Making a daily decision to show up and do the thing that you don't want to do. Making a decision to change your mindset, to do the hard thing, to set your boundary, to go to bed early, to put the phone down. Go to bed, go to your room. And that is the secret to unshakable confidence. I'm going to challenge you to pick one thing from today's list, just one, and do it tomorrow, the easiest one, and then do it again the next day and the next day, and then come back in the comments and tell me how it's going, because I actually want to know. If this episode gave you something today, then please like and subscribe. We are building something here and we need all the eyes on it. Come follow me on Insta at Anna Marie Descartes or at AM to PM Society, and I'd love to see you there. Okay, see you next time. Ta-da!